as I go through the garden and it's so cold, all the tomato plants have died back. But let me show you something. You know my pitcher where I compost everything? Look at this. What is growing in here but a tomato plant? I don't know what kind or what, probably from this plant. But look at that, it's protected in the pitcher as its own little greenhouse. And I got a tomato plant growing in there. How funny. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California and we are in the middle of March. So I'm going to take you through my disaster is what it is. And as you can see, you know what, let's walk over here. We have had rain. I feel like we live with you guys in Oregon or Washington because they tell us we're going to have a sunny day like today. And no, one minute they say it's going to rain, the next minute they say it's not, and it's cold. We get like in the 40s at night, so a lot of the plants are not doing well. So what we're doing here, or what I should say Gary decided to do, is he is clearing out some of the plants and then he's going to clear up the pond just on the top a little bit. Now the rabbits love going in here. We're not taking everything because the bees have been coming here. See, there's bees right now. So I want the bees to be able to have, right there, their food and do what they need to do. So right now I'm going to take you through a walk through of our disaster, and it is a disaster. It's a mess. Almost everything is dead except, of course, for the weeds with weed abatement. They're doing fantastic. Let's walk over here and see what's going on. And this is going to be probably one of the quickest garden tours I've done because I've been working on my deck and other places, not here. This is going to be changed. I have ideas. We'll see what happens. But I'm not doing shark fin melon in there. Look at all the weeds. Now this, let me tell you something, is gold. Because you know that trough that we bought that I'm going to set up? That big metal, it's going to be a beautiful raised bed. Oh, this is going to be food in there. It's going to be fantastic. The chair garden, well, it's going strong. In other words, it's still standing. So even with all the rain and the flooding here pretty much, nothing fell. In fact, look at this. The oregano is doing really good. That's oregano. Roots got in there from the pepper tree, but now that I moved it, it's coming back really good. Here I've got to go through and collect my beans. My purple bean, uh-oh, some dropped down there. They'll probably grow. And I've got a tomato trying to grow back there. Isn't that funny? All this is going to be taken off because I do it so differently now, and I'm going to have all my irrigation tubing done really good. It's going to be changed up because this grows watermelon really good. Zucchini, but I think I'm going to concentrate on zucchini on the back. We'll see as we get to it. Let's kind of walk through because, let's see, over here, I haven't harvested this yet. I did my front, you'll see. This is all turmeric. So I want to get in here and see how this is doing. I think it's doing pretty good, but I haven't tipped any yet. Hopefully I'll get to that. Well, I was going to do it today, but we rained all last night again, even though they said it was going to be drier. Turmeric, as I told you, grows down. That's just the way it grows, so it's probably way down. And I'll get to that a little bit later. Let's walk over here, and we're just going to do a walkthrough because everything is underwater. All the tomato plants, as you can see, I had all the tomato plants through there. They died. Now this is, which is fine. I'm just going to start over. This is doing good, but this is squash plant that's coming up. See the seeds? In the compost. This is beautiful. Can you see this? I think you've seen the video where I did. Look at this. No potting soil in here. This is all the soil that I made by just cleaning up the tote and putting in, different matter from around the yard. And it broke down. I filled it back in here. But this is just seeds that were in there. So I probably will end up taking that out. And then I'll redo those. See? Some of you have asked me, what happens when I put my kitchen scraps out and it gets underwater? Nothing. You're going to use it anyways, because once you tip it in a tote and then cover it with soil, the microbes are going to go in there, and so will your earthworms. Here, I haven't done anything yet, but I think I've got potatoes. They've been trying to die back. Look. Oh, look. They're green. We're not going to eat those, but you know what? If I can get in here soon and tip it, there might be some good ones underneath, and then the green ones, I'll just plant them back. Everything is struggling with the wet cold. If it was wet and warm, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's cold, and that's the issue. 40 degrees, 42, 44. Still too cold for a lot of plants. Even my walking onions don't look good. See? All the tomatoes gone, died back. Sow thistle's doing really good. I can't wait to get in here. I come out here and I think, you know what? I'm going to take all this tulle off, roll it up and use it somewhere else, redo a lot of this because I'm going to put the irrigation tubing in the totes. Not like I did, look how I was Mickey Moused it, where I put it through, can you see this? I mean, it works, but that's ridiculous. Now that I know and I started working with it, and there's so much you can do, there's a ton of stuff I can do better with it. So let's keep walking. Oh, now here is a grow bag. This is the only thing here in Southern California that I can grow without a drip system is peppers. Now it's struggling because what happened to that, and I showed you, I think last month, is the tree roots from this, the pepper tree, went into the bottom and was actually taking out my pepper plant. It was pulling all the nutrients and everything, and the pepper plant was dying back. And I thought, wow, I guess I can't even grow peppers in a grow bag. And then I saw the roots got in there from the bottom. So I have to periodically grab the bag, and it's heavy, even a small one like this, and pull it away, make sure the roots are broke off, or I can put it on something, maybe some plastic, or I don't want to put a tote lid there because sitting on the ground like that, eventually the tote lid will just break away. But I could put plastic or just pull it periodically like I do. Sow thistle, this is life for all the birds around here. The birds eat it. There's aphids, so you get the little bush tits come in and eat the bugs off of it. Then you get the goldfinches that come and feed on the seeds after the flowers. First the flowers come, then the bees feed on that, or, you know, pollinate it. Then the seeds come and the goldfinches eat it, and then the hummingbirds come and build a nest with it. This is last year's squash, and it is trying. The only reason it can make it, it's up against the wall, it's in a tote, and it's warm, because see how it drops down? When it drops down like that, then there's warmth around it, so it's trying, but I do plan on getting rid of all this here. So let's just keep walking, because there is absolutely nothing but water everywhere. It's one storm after another. What is in here? Oh, look at that. We don't want this. We don't want this. Let me see. Oh, I can't pull it out. You know what this is? That's a palm tree. It's good to compost, but you don't want to grow in it. And then, of course, you know how I love composting avocado. Oh, yeah. The only problem with composting avocados is you end up with trees. Now, no big deal. Pull them out when they're little. I still might save that tree. I'm actually thinking about it now. Carrots are doing okay. Again, they're sheltered from the cold, so I get carrots in here because the way it's dropped down. So it kind of like the wind. It doesn't get the wind and the cold on there. And that's it. And here I'm going to tear all this apart. I've been debating on throwing this around the ponds because this is popolo, and that will grow, but it won't take off until our nights are in the 60s. Popolo really, it tastes like cilantro, but popolo really likes warm weather. Let's go in the front yard. There's a mama palm tree. Don't worry, I'm keeping one. I still have one. Okay, here, nothing. But you know what? It's all been maintaining itself. And this has been fabulous. This is some sort of hybrid. And I've been picking all this, like broccoli, and cooking it, and it's been really, really good. I do want to get different things going in here, probably zucchini. I'll see later, of course. It's too cold. I've tried some zucchini. I'm tricking some, but I can't trick everything right now. Don't have the energy or the time to do that. And then everything else is doing good. I will tell you, I was excited to find this. Let me move the water. Look at this, water everywhere. Chamomile. And you know why I'm excited to find this? I haven't grown this in 2 years. And it came up. So it's been wet enough. Obviously, it likes a lot of water. And look, it's coming up everywhere. But I haven't grown it in 2 years. So that was exciting. See, I'm leaving as many flowers right now as I can for the bees. Water everywhere, literally. We're tipping it, using it. You know, there's leaves in it, so you can't really collect it when it's got stuff rotting in there, but you can water the plants with it. That's what we're doing. Okay, I am done here. I think you know that. My wheelbarrow. I got to get the water out because I noticed, well, this one's not bad, but some of them had so much weight on it. I don't want my shovel to rot away. Actually, there's nothing in here. I'll put the shovel here. it was weighting down and it looked like my tires were gonna get flat, so I have to keep the water out. Okay, all the ginger and turmeric is out, so it can't rot. The only thing left in here is the stevia, and it's trying to make a comeback, and then weeds are trying to grow. That's all that's left in here. And as soon as I know that we are out of the 40-degree weather nights, I will start to put my ginger and turmeric back. Right now, it's all prepped. That's something I haven't done for a while. I took the time to come out here, prep the whole thing. There's all my leaves from the bird garden from there in there. It's all packed. So you got the earthworms in there already. I've seen them. They're working away in these pots. And then what I want, when I'm ready, and I know the nights will not drop below 50, that's when I'll come back and I'll place my ginger and turmeric right on the top. And then I'll put about maybe an inch of soil, potting soil or something from another tote. So you can see the leaves that are peeking through. They're all breaking down. And then they'll just be sitting there until it gets warm enough for them to grow. They'll decide on the time to grow. So I'm not going to push anything other than getting them in here early this time, because last time, my gosh, I opened up a tote. I don't know if you remembered, and some of them were almost 3 feet tall, bent over where I was storing them, growing because they wanted to grow quicker than I thought. So we'll get that in there real soon, hopefully soon, that we won't be, look at this, compost. I know, I bring the buckets out from my kitchen and then I forget about them because it's going to rain and they get full of water. But my goodness, the plants love the water. But I'll get the ginger and turmeric planted as soon as I know it is going to be warm enough. Here again, nothing new. I'm going to get my new container set up soon. Look at this, full of water. Oh my, I can't put holes on the bottom of this because the tree roots will get in there immediately. I'll have the pine trees in there, the pepper trees in there. We have a lot of trees, so that will not work. But that's okay because the bottom's gonna be covered in branches. I'm gonna clear all this out, all the stuff that's either dead or even the lemon verbena, cut it back. Gary might take one of my lemon verbenas there, so I have like 4 of them here. And I'm gonna cut it back, throw that on the bottom, and then once it reaches the hole, it will drain out. I think I'm gonna put a hose in it. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, and I'll explain when I do it why. Oh my goodness, I forgot I left my stool out there. Don't want that out in the rain. So we'll see how I'm gonna do it later. And then these are the containers that are like 7 years old. Look at that, they're going great. I'm gonna take the broccoli out. It's breaking my container. That is my fault. See how it's breaking the edge here? That's because of me. I should not have allowed that to grow like that. So this whole plant will be chopped out and it will become my plant fertilizer, my new soil. This is a mushroom plant and I've got some cuttings in my kitchen window on it. And this is just mint. This is the dreaded strawberry mint. Smells good. It's in its own pot, so it just grows here. This is the chocolate mint, and the chocolate mint is fabulous. I use it for all kinds of stuff, and it's coming through the bottom. Okay, so let's just kind of walk through. Like I said, there's nothing going on in here except for the birds taking a bath. This has just been wet. Everything from our weather, if it's not raining, then it's misty, and it's very unusual. We haven't seen this in like, I think my daughter told me 30 years. She's even told me I'm kicking back and I'm looking at my garden. I'm going out to harvest whatever is there, but I'm not planting anything. She's not even starting seeds yet. I am starting seeds, but she can get some stuff from me too. It's a little early because we don't know when it's going to get into the 50s to start planting things. Look at my beautiful plant. That's my pride and joy. It's all broken and falling over. Look at that. That's okay. I'll make more plants out of it because I'm going to do a lot of layering in here. I love this one. Another hybrid. Look at that. I don't even know what you would call it. Isn't that gorgeous? There's going to be seeds, but here's the thing. What else is going to seed? Actually. Oh yeah, I was going to say nothing, but there's another plant there that went to seed. So I won't know what it is. So what I want to do with this one is get this one going. I'm going to get it out soon. And I'll do cuttings off of this and see what it looks like, because this is gorgeous. Grows a round leaf that's all purple. Isn't that beautiful? So it's some sort of cross between maybe, oh yeah, see there's more seed heads here. So they will cross pollinate. It could be a cross between this one and maybe a dazzling blue kale. I don't know, but that's an exciting plant, and that's the only one I've got, and that's my, like I said, pride and joy. Look at that, tree collards. This has been wonderful. Let me tell you something. If you're growing tree collards, eat the stem. You can take a carrot peeler, or you can take a little knife and peel the stem. This is sweet like sugar. It's not quite as sweet as sugar cane, but let me tell you something. It is so sweet. I've been sitting and munching on those because I take the leaves right now and I make a coleslaw out of it, which is the easiest thing. I think I've got the video up on that, how I put it in the blender for literally 5 seconds, and then I put a little, you could put mayo in there, vinegar, you can put a dash of salt and pepper in there, or whatever you want. You can mix other things in there, and you just mix it up a little bit, and it's so good. It's a wonderful slaw. I prefer the slaw with the green tree collard over the purple because the leaves are so big. It's very similar to cabbage. This is probably one of my favorite plants. Yep, it is. And I want to get a whole lot more going. I want to start propagating like crazy. Here, I'm still thinking about what I'm going to put in here, and I'm not sure, and I am so hoping they're going to make it because I have lost all my other papayas. Now, these are strawberries, but the Mexican papayas are all gone. So it was just too cold for too long and too wet, and it didn't make it. Look at my pride and joy. Look at the size of this one. Now, this one's in the ground, but see the pot? It's still in a pot. The pot, the bottom's open, but it gets all the water it needs. Look how beautiful this is. This is another one that I won't make slaw with it, but I'll add it in. I'll add it in with the tree collard. I wish a lot of you would grow tree collard, even if you don't want to eat it. It makes the best compost. It makes the best soil. I know a lot of you like comfrey, and there's nothing wrong with comfrey. Comfrey, I agree with you, is wonderful, but here's the thing. You can't eat it. This, if an emergency came about, you can eat it, and then you can use it for your compost. And that's pretty, we're almost done. Look at this. The celery's doing good. This needs to be propagated more. I've got a lot of it propagating. Look at the powdery mildew it gets. Celery here, more mint in there. This will all be redone as soon as we get a little bit of dry weather. And see, I put some sticks in here, and look how quickly they break down. See, it's already broke down just by throwing them in here and cleaning up the yard. You know what this is? That is sunflower. It's growing in here because it's warm. And how did it get in there? Some little squirrel came, took a lot of bird seed out of my feeders, buried it for the winter, and forgot about it. And that's how nature works. Now that can feed other animals, because that's what they do. It's the funniest thing, and there it's going to grow. It will grow if I leave it. I'll end up with a sunflower in there. And then let's walk through here. Look at the rosemary. The rosemary has bursted to life. Let me close the gate. Oh, even the citrus tree, look at. I mean, they're grateful for the rain. Look at the hillsides. It's beautiful. You think of all the weed abatement everybody's got to do. I don't mind the weeds because you can just chop them down. Gary does, pile them up, and we use them in all our totes. You don't want to use Bermuda, but if you rot it out good enough, you can. But here's the thing. So many people are still using weed killer, and that gets into the system, the ground. And I know it does break down quickly, but in the meantime, if any hummingbirds or bees feed on them, it's detrimental to their health. And ours too. Okay, we're done with that. So this is my rosemary. Can you remember I bought this quite a few years ago now at the 99-cent store, and the bees absolutely love it. 99-cent store. And now I've got multiple big plants here. And that's it. You have now seen my mess, and it is a mess. We are underwater. Just taking my time, working on areas I can work, contemplating on what I'm going to do. Here, I don't think I'm going to put potato mint back in here. I haven't even dug it up yet. No, I should harvest this soon. But all this, you have to be careful on this. This grows, it's in the mint family, so if I throw it in something, it will start to grow. But that's okay. I'm thinking I'm kind of planting it somewhere else. And then, of course, my strawberries, which I decided I am going to rebuild my tower back and go through it, because now I know how to get the strawberries to grow better than they did. And let's see, over here, my zinnias, they're protected against the wall. It's the only flowers growing so good. Look at all the new zinnias. And then this is a cutting. I got this a year ago. I went somewhere and I took a little piece. I just snapped it off. Did I do that? And I stuck it in here. See, it's in the pot. And now it's really needs to be moved. It's grown into the bucket, but that's okay. But look how big and beautiful it is. I'll pull it out soon and give it its own pot. It probably will go into the bird garden. Haven't set those up. My peppers are doing okay. I want to get that all done. The reason it's all kind of falling over is there's no soil in there. So I'm going to strap in some irrigation tubing and get that set up properly. And that's it. So you have now taken a spin around the gardens with me quickly. And like I said, it is a disaster. Look at this. All my tomatoes are dead. Everything. Look at the milkweeds coming up. I've just found more milkweed coming up in here. But this is all going to be redone, all of it. So all in all, what can you do? I basically had a hard winter. We're in the spring and we're still cold. So I'm kind of like with you. I know you're under snow on the East Coast. So that's one thing we only had for one day of snow. But you know, these plants just couldn't take that weather. My peppers are probably gone. The one in the back might make it, but I did collect seed off of this. I don't know if I'll try to save these. I might. Look at my thyme, loves the cold weather. Got a tomato plant that is hanging on. Whether it's going to make it or not, I don't know, because see, this one didn't. Rosemary that's in a pot is doing fantastic. So when the time is right and we finally see our weather starting to warm, I'll come in here and clean it up. All this is going back into soil. So it's not a loss at all for me, all of it, because I've got a lot of stuff to fill up. And so I'm going to need a lot of that. Everything, even all this. This all goes back to turning into soil. So let's not throw anything away because we need every bit. There's a pitcher down there. So we'll get it all done. My onions back there are doing really good. My potatoes have to be harvested here too. We're getting close. So I'll be doing that. And then here I've got more potatoes. I'm not sure if there's anything in here. These are the baby Dutch yellows. I haven't gone in here. I don't want to really do this because I don't want to damage the potatoes if there's any in here. It's probably on the, oh, look at that. So if they're green, I'm not going to, of course, eat those, but I'll just replant them and maybe they'll grow better with the weather being proper, not so cold at night, and get them in something else. But I don't know what's underneath. So we'll see. So that's it. And then these, of course, have done fantastic. I've been pulling plants out, replanting. Can't beat that. Now, any of you, if you're interested, you can cover these in plastic. I keep them open because this way I know I can go in there, grab a plant and plant it anywhere I want because it's used to the elements. It's just being protected. But some of these are already leaving, coming through the top, so they are getting ready to go somewhere else. Even in here, I've got geraniums in there, broccoli in there. So I love having the tops open. But if you're in a much colder area and you've got snow and you want to keep it outside, go ahead and make a cold frame out of it by covering it in plastic, and this way you have like a mini greenhouse and it works just as well. Be sure to watch the video how to set it up, because you don't want to just set it up in the plastic. It won't stay warm. You need to have it all prepped and ready to go with the proper bottom, with the soil and the leaves and all that, and then you will be able to have a greenhouse outside. That costs you, what, about $7? Because that's all those totes cost at Walmart. Check around because you can find them in a lot of different stores for a lot of different prices. The hardware stores here have them real cheap. And if you don't see the cheap ones, ask them, because a lot of times they display the more expensive ones and you don't need them. Also check online, because you can get them from Walmart online for about $7. I think Target and some of the other stores have them too. So, oh, look at my lettuce. So I think you've seen everything. I'm gonna go get some broccoli for Kitty out front. She doesn't know the difference between the hybrid and the broccoli. Is this cool? I haven't even looked in here for the longest time. Just sitting there. Throw different things. Isn't that beautiful? I'll tell you, this year, look at this, it's hanging in there. Okra. I have had more lettuce than ever before, because any place I've got a spot, I stick in lettuce. And my zinnias, look at that. Little zinnias, they're making a comeback. So with that, have a wonderful day. Stay warm if you're still cold. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Oh, I am so ready for summer. I just did a garden tour. Guess what I brought you? Little bit of broccoli. Here you go. Oh yeah, her favorite. Don't tell her it's a hybrid. Big piece. Was that good? Let's see what Gary did. in this because I'm done now. Oh, we cleaned it up. I want to get flowers in here. Now I got to get my flowers there. Oh, look how pretty. Look at my black sugar cane. Isn't that beautiful? So we clean that up. And I've got, let's see what else. Let's see what else there is here. Here. My poor pump. The problem is it's full of nymphs and all kinds of critters. I have to carefully clean that up. But even though it's underwater, let me move out of the way, it's still going to bubble up and move the water around. Okay, now we just have to clean the top. Look at how nice. Cleaned up a little bit and clean out the bowl for the critters. And look at that. We have a little bit of sun for just a little bit of time. How cool.